year 2044, advanced artificial intelligence robots drained the Earth of her natural resources, leaving the once thriving planet a barren shell, incapable of sustaining life. From a global population that once approached 8 billion, only a few thousand humans survive by going underground and eventually abandoning the Earth altogether for outer space. In space, a rebel alliance is formed, eventually led by the last survivor of her royal family, Princess Callie Divine. The Allies' sworn mission is to protect what remains of the human race while fighting a bloodthirsty reptilian Illuminati army known as the Archons, who are devoted to eradicating humans from the universe. Employing a mix of alchemy and technology, and led by the dreaded Aleister Crowley and alien Wrathchild, the Archons attack the Allies at every opportunity, driving the dwindling humans to the brink of extinction on the 2000th anniversary of the Earth's destruction. Adrift in space, with no planet to call home, the human race fights its toughest battle ever for survival.
Did you catch that? I don't know that I 100% caught what just happened, but that's how our first movie begins. Our first movie happens to be Bigfoot versus the Illuminati. Welcome to sort of a new concept. I've had this, I've kicked this around in past episodes, Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel, but I haven't done it live before, and I've done it alone in the past. But I thought this was spurred on by a friend of mine who made a comment on Twitter about this specific movie, and I said, you know what? Let's do it live. I'm going to have him on. Ladies and gentlemen, coming back to the show, Justin DECLOUX,
Hello.
The head of Gold Ninja Video. How are you?
The only employee of Gold Ninja Video.
CEO, CFO, all of that. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. How about you? And don't put this on me. The fact that I just posted the poster and I was like, this looks funny. I did not know the barrel of Bigfoots that I was opening, and that you're like, no, you know what? I should watch this.
Yeah. Oh my God. I honestly, well, I'll throw up the poster. We'll look at the poster real quick. We'll do I not have it here? I thought I had it here. Well, the poster's behind me, I guess, if you can see that. You see this poster and you think, what the hell? That's interesting. Bigfoot versus the Illuminati. That doesn't.
What is the Illuminati in this context? Like,
right.
They wanted to call it Bigfoot versus the aliens, I'm sure, and there's probably a movie out there that already has that title.
Well, probably. We know. Well, we'll get into all the nitty gritty of the filmmaker. This is a BC-14 film. And apparently that is a real person. This is BC-14.
I could not believe that it's a real person. Is this maybe like an auto-generated thing, like on his face?
It's like that. It's like that Al Pacino movie,
Simone. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Well,
so
I think we should set it up for people, because the big thing about this movie, and did you know this going in? Because I did not. That it is all animated, and you could see it in the trailer that you just saw, and it almost looks like slick animation, like slicker than you would expect for this. But then you realize that if you look at BC-14's filmography, that he has 117 credits, and a lot of them recycle this animation specifically. So I'm sure it's free elements they got online. And I was shocked to learn that not only is there a Bigfoot versus Trump, but Bigfoot versus Megalodon, I can't say it, the big shark, it has the same plot as this movie. It even has the involvement of the sun god Ra. And I was like, what?
I mean, I was very shocked when I about 20 minutes in, and it was still like a video game cutscene. I'm like, wait a minute, is this all it is? It's just stock footage that they had, and they somehow built a story around it, and that's exactly what you get.
Oh yeah, like almost nobody's mouse moves, and it honestly feels like the script is almost auto-generated, which would explain the appearance of like the sun god Ra, which I'm sure is just like the elements they had to use. But someone
Yeah.
pointed out, I don't know if you read the article, there was one going around that like there's people that make videos like animated or sometimes live action of like pregnant Spider-Man, Ilsa, and they're
Yeah.
hanging out and they're having a party. And they
Yeah.
make these videos very quickly because they know it'll lead to clicks, because those are the things that are clicked the most. And this is what these movies feel like.
Except nobody wants to click on this stuff.
Oh no. Can you imagine, like, I mean, there's no way there's like a physical media release of this. I believe it lives on Tubi, doesn't it?
I don't know. You know what? I'll look it up on Amazon. See if it pops up with a Blu-ray. I highly doubt it.
There is no way there is a Blu-ray of this film.
Oh,
Did
it's
you
on 4K.
go looking into BC14's the films that he's written? It's like
I know.
Pets, Pets 2, Pets 3, just like random words smashed together.
I saw you did a little research. What have you found out about this gentleman?
Well, other than like the Wikipedia page, which you posted that photo of, which also has a thing which is like he's a American screenwriter, novelist, film director, and editor. That's good. He's the full package.
Yeah.
It also says that he also writes under the nom de plume Christopher Maitland in homage to Peter Cushing's character in 1965's The Skull. And when you
Wow.
read that, you're like, oh, you know what? It sounds like he's a fan. He likes this kind of stuff.
Right.
Nope, not by any indication of the movies that he makes.
No. I will say, if anybody is interested, Bigfoot versus the Illuminati has a DVD for $14.
Wow. Oh, you know what? It must be one of those auto-generated like Amazon DVDs.
Probably. It is also free on YouTube. That's how I actually rented it on Amazon and then found out that it was free on YouTube. I was like, shit. Damn it.
You know what? You gave VC14 some more money. We have Bigfoot versus Krampus to look forward to.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, let me just read these titles. They sound like made up things.
Yeah.
Uncivil War, Battle for America, Our Nation Under Trump, Trump Apocalypse Now, Jumbo, Ogre, Little Monsters, Dia of the Dead, The Halloween Family.
The Halloween Family?
Yeah, it's supposed to look like Hotel Transylvania.
Uh-huh.
Just awful stuff. And like, it's funny that he has like a nom de plume. Why would he put his name on something like Bigfoot versus the Illuminati?
The Illuminati, right. Gosh, there's so much. There's so much to unpack here. We haven't even touched on the movie. But as you can see, I'm playing the movie here. Again, you can watch it free on YouTube. Link is in the description. The film is all cutscenes, and it is an impenetrable mess of conspiracy theory fodder about. Well, they call it the Illuminati, but in this iteration, the Illuminati are aliens and not like some New World Order. Well,
the shark one also has aliens in it, so it's like they have this model that they can utilize.
Well, yeah, there you go. So you've got aliens who are also the Illuminati. They're trying to kill the rest of humanity. And they bring. Okay, so clarify this for me. Maybe I'm getting it wrong.
Clarify. You're not going to get that from me.
Well, let's see if we have the same understanding. Did they bring to life Van Helsing and Aleister Crowley, who desperately wants a blowjob?
I think Aleister Crowley was always an alien, but he did not know that, and they just like put him in his alien form. That's what I got in between the endless talks of blowjobs and like having sex with each other.
There was a lot of that. It's like, oh man, I just want to get my dick sucked. Like, what's happening?
What is happening? Yeah.
I've never seen an alien say that or want that, you know?
And we may make it sound like crazy, like, I gotta see this. Now, I'm gonna put the brakes on it right here, and I'll say this throughout this conversation. It is not fun. It is just like CG characters talking to each other for the entire film.
Actually, right here, this is him. I'll turn the sound up.
If the date on this screen is correct,
Hey, it's a Crypt Keeper.
I haven't had a blowjob
Yes.
in 3,000 years. And who's going to suck my dick with me looking like this?
Don't fret.
There you
There you
go.
go. Perfect.
That wasn't planned because they just talk about that the entire film, so you could just turn up the volume at any point.
Right, at any time, and that's kind of what I don't even think he plays a part in the plot because after a while, I think he just gets forgotten upon, and it's just then it's Van Helsing teaming up with Bigfoot, who somehow he knows.
You say Van Helsing, you just mean a generic astronaut who we never see his face.
Sure, yes. But he is apparently the clone of Van Helsing, but he says, "Just call me VH." What stupid shit is that? Like, come on.
Why is he Van Helsing? Did Van Helsing like hunt Aleister Crowley? Like, does he have anything to do with Bigfoot?
Again, I think you're right. I think that they just grabbed a whole bunch of random names out of a hat. Oh, Van Helsing's popular. People know who that is. Oh, Bigfoot.
Is Van Helsing popular? Like, are kids these days like, you know who I love? Van Helsing, the classic Peter Cushing character, as well as Hugh Jackman. Who doesn't love Hugh Jackman?
Right, exactly. I mean, that's a movie that we'll never forget.
Never. So much swinging.
This is actually my buddy Cody writing as Linda. I think that's his mom's account. He says Oscar-winning dialogue. Wow, yes. I don't know if this movie would win any awards except maybe the Brain Melter Award, and it's not in a good way either. This is the kind of brain melter you're like, Jesus Christ. I'm glad that this is only like 75 minutes because I don't think I could survive.
Yeah, it's definitely the movie that like after 10 minutes I'd be like, I get it, and I would like reach like close it because like you ain't getting anything more. Even though I like the way Bigfoot looks, I don't know how I feel about how he's voiced, which I will not imitate on this live stream.
No. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go to that right now.
Yeah, let him speak for himself.
Exactly. Let's let Bigfoot speak for himself. This is a decision that BC-14 has made for Bigfoot, for better or worse. I believe that's Bigfoot planet. I don't remember.
Yeah, as we go to Planet Bigfoot, here we go. Generic lava planet. I do feel this is like a movie that was probably made in like Taiwanese like CG mines.
Well, if it isn't the infamous Bigfoot, how have you been, big guy?
Remove that helmet and identify yourself, lest I rip your limb from limb.
Whoa, buddy. I'm no gambler. It's me, Van Helsing.
Van Helsing? Which one?
Not the original.
Good. I hate that little prick. He pounds a steak until a couple of Ponzi dickheads
Bigfoot has so many teeth.
All
like...
of a sudden, he's a big hero. Hero my ass.
I hear that a lot, but I'm not.
Okay, I think you get a good idea of.
Imagine that for another like 80 minutes.
And he's our hero, but he appears almost 30 minutes into this thing, and I don't.
It's like a spice, right? You don't want too much Bigfoot.
you get just a pinch, yeah, just a pinch.
Something great is that the CG models never interact with each other. They're always like standing a distance, going through like the animation cycle that they have, like lifting their arms or whatever.
Yeah. It's mind-boggling. Like how does somebody get through this? How do you get 30 minutes into this, like making this, and not stop and go, you know what, this is kind of dumb.
I can only imagine there's like a weird like money funneling something like that he's, you know, BC-14 and his team, I think it's like Wow Now Entertainment or something like that, that they just have so much content out there that even if you get like pennies on the dollar, that like it's worth it. Because why else would they keep making this?
Yeah, I agree, Cody. I don't know. And there's one I discovered after I'd finished this. I go, what else has he done? And he's got Trump versus the Illuminati.
Yeah, it's the same movie, except Bigfoot is replaced by Trump.
Wow. Exactly
the same movie. Aliens, they go get Trump. Trump dances, though, on the planet, I saw.
Oh, my God. Yeah, and okay, so plot-wise, this is a hard one to break down because, honestly, there's so much. And a lot of it is, you know, they talk about the Archons, and the Archons are sort of a part of conspiracy theory, UFO mythology. And then, obviously, the Illuminati is conspiracy theory fodder. But then the story we get is kind of like it's trying to rip off all these science fiction movies. And what I was actually shocked by was the fact that I feel there was actually a real story here. Like the guy's not just eating shit. Like it feels like he's actually writing stuff down that he believes in, and at least trying to make it work, at least in his mind. It doesn't
So,
look good, but it
I
seems
mean,
okay.
I'm not going to give him that. I think he wrote one script and they reused it for multiple movies because this is the same script as the Trump movie, as well as, I don't know, probably Krampus. Like,
Sure, probably.
so like Krampus is an alien probably, and he's probably gonna be in a ship too, flying around.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that. Maybe we can we'll rejoin forces for that one. Although
Oh
I don't know that I
God,
was.
where does the sun god Ra come into it though? Like, it's like it's present, and he shows
Yeah.
up. At one point, Bigfoot is prey to the sun god Ra.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because so they used Raw to bring back Aleister Crowley, who's on screen right now, right? That's like, oh, bring him back, and
I
then
think so.
but what the fuck does Aleister Crowley do? Like, I don't think he except just that's it, just him like in a little cockpit.
Yeah, and he's like, "Suck my dick." That's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Gosh, this is one of those movies. I mean, we call this "Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel." This is literally it. Like, it's almost not even a movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's like literally. I'm trying to think of the correct word, like detritus to fill airtime.
Yeah,
And like, there's no passion, I feel like, behind this. Like, nobody's making it cares. They've probably never even watched it once. I was shocked while I was watching it. I'm like, there's no dead frames. Like, there's no black frames in the movie, which is nice. Maybe they just, because they did that one edit, so they made sure that was perfect. And then they probably can like drop elements into it. So it's like, oh, we need Krampus. Just drop the Krampus model here, and he'll like wave his hands for the Krampus movie.
right. But also you got to think about some of the voices felt like one of those like pre-recorded things, like you get online, like, oh, type, read this out kind of thing. But then some of it, like the Bigfoot, and the Crowley, I feel like there's actual actors behind that. So
yeah, they're acting like there's like I was really like listening closely to be
right,
like, is this like auto-generated audio? And it wasn't. It's like people that are acting it out,
yeah,
and like people would have to edit that dialogue in. So I don't know how this could be worth anyone's time, which also brings me to like, it's got to be people like in, again, the Philippines or something like that, putting all of this together, and they just send them the elements.
right, or a money laundering situation.
Yeah, something like that. Like it's some scheme that leads to dollars, because these are not passion. I mean, anytime you make a movie, you hope that it leads to dollars, but this is like an outright scam.
Yes.
That what's weird is that, like, if you get tricked by one of these movies, like, you're never going to watch any others, because you're going to be like, no, get us out of here. No, thank you. But I guess they're tricking enough individuals on the planet to make it worthwhile.
And maybe this is just from my limited knowledge working with the asylum. I know that foreign sales were huge.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this does really well in Thailand. I don't know. Like, maybe they think this is like Pixar back over there. I don't know.
I mean, they're not dumb though. Like, you just need to watch it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's.
And if a distributor gets tricked by it, they're gonna be like, I don't want that again. Like, don't give me that garbage.
Yeah.
I can't believe that the DVD. Can you imagine having that on your shelf and you're like, "Ooh, is this like an asylum film of some kind?" There is not that much to talk about this movie. We're in Bigfoot territory. What's your position on Bigfoot? Obviously, a Bigfoot lover. What are the good Bigfoot movies, though?
Yeah, I'm a Bigfoot lover and a Bigfoot believer.
Believer.
Yeah,
okay, sure.
I feel like I think I saw something once, but I discounted. It was very clear, but at the same time, I was on a train, and it wasn't like speeding by, but it was. We were. I was going from Florida to New York, and I could swear I saw something. You know what I'll do? Well, I'll keep the movie playing. It's funny. I saw what looked like a black creature with it had like a white stripe down its back, shaggy hair, and it looked like it was by there was like a little riverbed. Well, I guess not a riverbed, like a river by the train tracks, and it was drinking. and I saw it like literally. It was like maybe 5 seconds, and it turned and ran off.
A black bear-like creature, if you will.
A black, a bear, yeah, a black bear-like creature. But the thing that I remember is that it was shaggy. I could tell that it had hair hanging off its arms. Bears aren't shaggy, and it had like a white stripe down its back. So I thought that was really weird, and it looked like a man because it was hunched, and I don't know, it was strange. But again, I discounted because I was on a train. It wasn't like I was standing watching it.
I have to tell you though, I've been in forests, probably with trains passing by, in gorilla costumes. Shooting something, I need some water, go by the lake, start slapping it in my mouth. Train goes right by.
Maybe that was you.
Even Bigfoot. Let's have some wonder in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not Scully here, you know.
Yes. Let's have
believe.
some beautiful mystery in the world. My favorite Bigfoot movie, I think it's called Night of the Demon, or
the one where Bigfoot rips somebody's dick off.
Yes, good damn movie. Oh my god! Of course, Boggy Creek is great.
Oh, I love definitely Boggy Creek. I always say Bogey Creek, and it's like Boggy. It makes sense. It's a bog. Come on, Boggy Creek.
Right. Boggy Creek 2 is hilarious. I really enjoy that one. What do you like? What do you go to for Bigfoot?
It's weird because like I wish there was like a Halloween of Bigfoot movies that you could go to. And you're like, oh yeah, this is like the good one. Like this is the prototypical one. Right. And other than Boggy Creek, but that's kind of like its own thing. Like it's not really setting down a genre. There's not that many, and the ones that I think of like Abominable are more like gimmick Bigfoot movies. Yeah, it's like it's like Rear Window, but there's a Bigfoot. I remember kind of liking, is it Exist? The one that was done by the Blair Witch guy, speaking of Blair Witch. That one was fun, but it's weird. It's like, why is it so hard to make a Bigfoot? I just want a Bigfoot that's like running around, he's killing people. You got some gore, you got some fun, maybe Bigfoot, I don't know. Yeah, just like a big animal kind of thing. And there's not that many off the top of, I'm like, this is like a good one that you can go to.
Well, I would say a good one, but again, it's not prototypical. Is Harry and the Hendersons. I think
that's a classic one. He is not ripping anybody apart though, as a Bigfoot.
He is not. He's friendly and adorable, and I think that's probably that probably was my first Bigfoot movie. I love that movie, man.
And I'm not a big fan of Willow Creek. That's one that people always point to, even though I love my man Bobcat.
Yeah,
but there's no Bigfoot in that movie. Come on, man, give me that Bigfoot. Big guy in a suit. That's what I want.
Well, you know what's funny? Bobcat is a big Bigfoot.
He's a huge Bigfoot guy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's a weird one. It is weird. There's no anybody in the chat. Let me know what your favorite ones are. Cody says Night of the Demons needs a Blu-ray. It does. Or
Did it not get a release from Code Red? Night of the Demon. Bigfoot. So exciting as we look online. Releases. Nope, it does not look like it got a Blu-ray. It got a release through like remember when Code Red was doing like Maria's B Movie Mayhem?
Oh yeah.
It got a release through there.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, big special edition. I know that was it Synapse that they announced Creature from Black Lake. I like that one. That's a good
yeah.
They were supposed to do like a remaster, and they actually went like, we can't get the elements, so we're not going to do it. And I was like, damn.
That's a bummer. All right, moving on to our second movie, but before we do that, Bigfoot versus the Illuminati. Justin, thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes, I agree. This is awful.
I can't. Yeah, I don't think I've watched a movie like that ever all the way to the end, because why would I?
Oh my god, yeah, no, for sure. I was 20 minutes in. I'm like, I regret this.
And you sent me a message. You're like, I don't know what this is. Can you imagine? Because your original plan was this and versus Megalon. Yeah. It would have been two of the same movie.
Oh god, yeah. I'm glad that was not easy to find. Oh my god. Yeah, so luckily we're gonna switch gears and it's gonna be I'm gonna say better, but at least more entertaining.
Well, I mean, how familiar are you with the main man, Mark Polonia?
Oh, very.
You got his photo right there, ready to go. Well, I haven't seen that one. He's got like he's very
he's got a pie,
professor like.
Yeah, he's like Professor Polonia here. Of the brothers Polonia, we lost. What was it? John? What was his brother's name?
Oh God, so embarrassing that I don't know this.
Oh my
I
God.
always call them the Polonias. So
Yeah, same.
yeah, John, you were correct.
I'm very familiar with the Polonia brothers, feeders and all that stuff, and Splatter Farm.
I mean, I think Splatter Farm is like a stone cold classic. I love Splatter Farm. I show it to so many people. I went to a 24-hour film festival in a movie theater, and at like 2 a.m. in the morning, I put Splatter Farm on. And there was like two parents with their 10-year-old who stayed the entire time.
Wow.
Maybe she was a little older than that. Maybe she was 12. But I was like, are you sure? Like, there's going to be some rough stuff. And he's like, the dad was like, if it gets too rough, she said she put a blanket over her head. And I played Last House on Dead End Street. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. That was really rough.
Yeah.
And she put her blanket over her head. And I talked to her later on, and she's like, it was worse. All I heard was sounds. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, I could see how that would be a worse experience. Yeah.
But yeah, Splatter Farm, love it. I love all the like teenage films they made because there's like an abandon to it. Like, we just want to do everything. Even like Bad Magic with like the drunk guy as a star. SRS has been putting out like really cheap DVDs of their work. And I've been like buying all of them. If I know it's like both of them working together in that like teenage era. Their new stuff, like the movie we're about to talk about now, Bigfoot versus Zombies. That's what I'm like, you know what? I'm happy they're making it. That's what I'll say.
Right. Well, it's funny because I was looking through the filmography and I saw he's already shot Feeders 3. And I'll probably watch it just out of nostalgia, but I don't expect it to be as great as the first two installments.
Well, for people watching this, if you don't know who Mark Polonia and John Polonia are, they're twin brothers, very nerdy looking. There's no other way to describe them. Who they just made movies endlessly, gore films, horror films. And they're most famous because a film they made called Feeders, which is like all their other films, shot on video too. It got like a big blockbuster push under the shadow of Independence Day. And that like made their career. And they've been dining off of that ever since.
Yes. I can't find Feeders here for some reason.
I mean, Feeders 2 Sleigh Bells.
Sleigh Bells.
Chef's Kiss, love it.
It's the best Christmas movie ever made.
It has, I think, the best final shot of any film. I think about it all the time, which is like an alien pops out of a gift, and Mark Polonia just sitting there, like stone face, staring at it, not reacting, and freeze frames, and then credits roll.
Oh man. It's pretty amazing. This is what the Feeders look like. Like
so good. Oh man, if they sold like Feeders action figures, I would buy one. I would love it.
100%. I definitely would. So I mean, you can tell these aren't good movies, but they're definitely of a piece. Oh, that's why, because it's the.
You know what? I recently watched, and it's not. Oh, sorry. I'm just reading comments here. I'm like, ooh, someone just said that they got a Film Detective release. I wrote the liner notes for. Well, thank you for picking that up, Mr. Tom Ford.
Yeah? Oh, nice. Wait, where to go?
Tom Ford, if I could point you to a little website called Gold Ninja Video, you can see all the booklets that I usually have something to do with.
Yeah, Gold Ninja Video's linked in the description, guys. Go check them out. Also, his YouTube channel, Film Trap.
Yes, please. Almost at 1,000. I get those community features. Oh man, the future is now. But back to the Polonia brothers. What was I going to say? Oh, I saw Return to Splatter Farm, which I know that Mark Polonia didn't direct, but he was involved with, and I thought that one was a lot of fun.
I think he directed it.
No, he didn't direct it. Somebody else did.
He's listed as director.
Oh, co-director. Yeah. I feel like the other guy kind of did the heavy lifting, because when you watch the movie, you're like, this does not feel like a Polonia brothers film.
No. Yeah, that was I again watched that just sort of out of nostalgia's sake, but
it's a silly slasher. It's not gross enough. Like, it's like, where's the guy that has like a poo fist?
The poo fist. Oh my god, the whole thing with the grandma. Oh man.
Okay, if anybody watching this hasn't seen Splatter Farm, you run out and somehow get. It's tough to recommend Splatter Farm.
Yeah,
because the version that's on DVD is not the original cut. It's the one they fixed You don't want that. You want the version that with every cut, there's a little moment of silence because they're
Yeah.
editing VHS to VHS.
Oh man, I love it. So yeah, Mark, he lost his brother. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how it happened, but
I believe it was an aneurysm.
okay.
There's a special feature on. It's like a bonus disc. It's like their take on Cloverfield, and
Okay.
there's a little featurette like honoring John because I believe that was one of the last movies that he worked on.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, Mark has continued the tradition of making low budget movies. I honestly did not know that they were still in business. I sort of lost touch with the Polonia legacy, you know, and then only about like 5 or so years ago, I realized, oh my God, these guys haven't really stopped.
I mean, not only are they still in business, business is booming. They're making 5 to 10 movies a year.
Yes. Yes. They are. Well, I should say, Mark. As you can see, we've got. I mean, 2021. Well, where'd it go? Went all the way to the bottom.
I mean, Dune World is coming out next week because I saw it on the list of like new DVD
Dune
releases
World.
being released.
Yeah, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies already made in 2021 and 2 in post. Well, one's filming, but that's a lot. I mean, these are like $10,000 weekend movies, kind of a thing.
$10,000.
Is that too much?
You're being very generous, yes. I mean, they clearly, or someone they know owns a farm because it appears in many of their pictures.
Yes.
They don't do gore anymore. It's all CG generated.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, and they just kind of like, I guess they have fun.
And they have fun, and I notice a few returning actors, so they've got a stable of actors in their neighborhood that they always call up. Hey, we're making another one. Did you just finish one? Yeah, we're making one more. I love that. I mean, to me, that's it. What real filmmaking is, the people who do it regardless of everything.
Oh, I love it. It's probably like I mean, I wonder if Mark is like a Brett Kelly type where he's like one take and that's it. And then we keep moving. Like, how involved is he with it? I remember reading, there was like a review or an article somebody wrote, someone that follows me on Letterboxd who's in Return to Splatter Farm. And he mentions that like he met Mark at a convention and he was like, you know, if you ever need any help, I'll be in one of your movies. And Mark was like, oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be great. Can you act? And then Mark stopped himself. He's like, what am I saying? It doesn't matter. You can go star in my movie. Love it.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. I always wonder how you see these movies and you wonder how these directors work. Like, I'd love to be on a fly on the wall on a Neil Breen set. You know, like how does that work?
I feel like probably not very well on a Neil Breen set. Like,
sure.
On a Polonia set, I feel like it's probably very friendly, like gregarious, and that's why the actors like coming back because it's just fun and they can star in a movie.
Yeah. You think you're 100% right there. I was lucky enough to work with Doris Wishman on her last movie, you know, and knowing Doris's movies, you know, I was so curious just to sit back and watch her direct, and then you watch her and you're like, oh, that's. I mean, why.
Let me take a guess. Was she very angry at the director?
Well, I mean, she had no patience.
Yes.
And she was, you know, it was like 2005, 2004, something like that. And so we were shooting on DV. It was going to be I think her only DV feature. And it was one of those, like, she had a super fan who was going to give her a certain amount of money to make one last movie. I think she passed away the next year. So it was going to be like one big final push. And there was a ridiculous story. It's just stupid about a magic necklace. She's on set. She's always sitting down. Without her DP there, nothing would have happened. His name was Chuck. He shot a lot of her movies, and he was great. And
he's the guy that shot even A Night to Dismember, right?
Yes, yeah.
He's the one that she tears into on the infamous commentary track.
Yes, that's him. Yeah,
and he's the one that my pal Ben Ruffett contacted the cinematographer, and the cinematographer's like, "Oh yeah, I have the original version of A Night to Dismember." And then he
I've
sent it
seen
to
it.
Ben, and then Ben posted it on YouTube.
Yeah.
The one that
No,
Doris Wishman is like, it got lost in a fire.
yeah. No, there's a whole story behind that. Unfortunately, we lost Chuck last year. No, actually 2 years ago. He was a really nice guy. It was my favorite thing to come out of that. Well, also I met my wife on that set, but friend beyond marriage.
Wait, was she acting in the movie?
She was a PA with me.
How did she get as a PA on a Doris Wishman set?
Well, it was I guess well, for me, Linnea Quigley was in the movie, and
Okay.
Linnea was in a couple of my movies, and we were talking, and she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna be in Doris Wishman's next movie," and I was like, "Holy shit, Doris Wishman, the lady, like Bad Girls Go to Hell," and she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh crap, call him up, tell him I'll help. I'd love to just be on the set." And they needed help. It was literally 3 crew members and Chuck. So it was very small. But yeah, watching Doris direct, she sits down. She doesn't really care about the angle or the look. She's like, "Okay, Chuck, you set it up, whatever, Chuck, that was fine. And then action. And then she forgot to block the scene. So she does it during the take. Okay, now coming through the door. Okay, you close the door. Okay, now touch the vase. And they'd be like, "Why would I touch the vase?" I go, "Just touch it. It's really good." And you should touch the vase and then come over here and kick this chair. And I can be like, "Kick."
Well, Doris Wishman, she's gonna dub it all later. It's fine. She's gonna cut away to like shots of feet and shots of like a plant.
Yeah, and that's why her movies look like that. And like Chuck was like, "You don't want. Why don't we give her direction before the scene so they know what they're doing." It made it very difficult. Because obviously she didn't get that it was video, and we didn't have, there was no such thing as dubbing it in later. The movie's a mess, but working with Doris is something I'll never forget.
I mean, that movie, no dildo heaven, but what can be?
There's not many movies that can approach that quality of filmmaking. Tom says, "You would not believe how low budget the Polonium movies are. Sterling offered my brother Ron Ford to make movies for him for the same price he paid them, and Ron laughed in his face." Oh, Sterling is another guy. Holy shit.
Mean, big fan of The Fear, Tom. You can tell your brother Ron that.
Yes, yeah. Tell Ron. Ron's a good dude. We sort of made a movie together. I rewrote his script. I don't know if he's ever forgotten.
I mean, speaking of guys that just like pump scripts out, woo boy.
Yes.
When you look at Ron Ford's credits, you're like, it never ends.
Oh my god. No, that's true.
So, okay, we should talk about the movie Bigfoot versus Zombies, though.
Yes.
There's not much to it. Like the last one, it's like Bigfoot's there's zombies, it's on a farm, they're having fun.
Well, I will say I do like that it takes place on a body farm. I thought that was an interesting idea for a location. For those of you who don't know, a body farm is what I guess forensic schools or like stuff like the FBI they use to like sort of learn decomposition and study bodies that have been out in nature or whatever under different conditions. Very interesting idea for a zombie movie. What I'm not clear is how the hell did they become zombies? Was it the doctor had some kind of liquid? What was that about?
It doesn't matter. It was a satellite falling from Venus. There's no room in hell. Zombies are here. What are you going to do?
Right.
And it's one of those movies, too, that none of them are like, they're zombies. It's all like, what? It's like one of those universes where like zombie movies don't exist.
Yeah. And that's another thing that's kind of weird about a lot of these movies, that no one says zombies. Everyone's like, "Oh, what's going on? Oh, they've gone crazy or whatever." That's a very strange addition.
I also got to say that Bigfoot costume, not my favorite.
No, it's terrible. It looks like he has like a mutated like boob or something. It's
okay. So this guy on screen with the blonde hair, I love this guy. He's a regular. He appears a lot in Brett Piper's films. Have you ever checked out his pictures?
I watched one, but I don't know if I forget the name. It was about bugs.
I'm trying to think of.
I'll look it up.
Arachnia from 2003 that he directed.
Yes.
I'm a big Brett Piper head because I love stop motion effects, and he's great at it. Like they're genuinely good, which does elevate some of the Polonia films where it's like they're filmmaking, and then there'll be like an amazing stop motion effect that will show up.
Right.
You're gonna be like, huh? His movie Triclops, which actually stars this blonde haired fellow, is really fun, and it gets like a genuine recommendation from me. And it was one of those movies that you're like, it's released by Alpha Video, the like public domain company. Okay.
Wow, Triclops. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll add that to the list.
It's super fun. Not enough people talk about it. Filled with like real fun stop motion special effects.
That's amazing. I wish I could say the same about this movie. I wish this movie was a little more fun, but it kind of takes a while for it to get going. I mean,
Yes, it
it
does.
doesn't really get in the fight until about 45 minutes into this.
You know what
thing.
I'll say, and I say this sometimes when I watch zombie films. I'm impressed the zombies have gray all over their face. They could have just like splattered a little blood on them and called them zombies. So, you know, it's all about like the little things when you watch a motion picture like this.
That's true. Most times they'll just do the face, and like the rest of it is like normal skin.
It will be. I mean, maybe you get some hands. I mean, Polonia is a very direct filmmaker. There's not much style there. It's like, put the camera down, you know, we'll get a close up of them saying the lines, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as plot goes, zombies come to life on a body farm. People run into them, and then all of a sudden, Bigfoot's just hanging out, and he says, "I'm gonna fuck some shit up." I mean, that's kind of the plot. And and he's nice, and I think he has a crush on the main girl here. That's would that characterize the movie correctly?
You got it, 100%. And also, Bigfoot is wandering around in the background in that crummy costume, trying to get out of it. It's like a hump. He's only a hump the entire time.
At first I thought it was like the stuffing was coming out from the back,
and they didn't fix it. They just left it.
They're like, it's fine. No one can tell.
I have a gorilla costume I think looks better than the Bigfoot costume they use in this movie.
Well, maybe they should hire you for the sequel.
I mean, I actually have two gorilla costumes. I have one I bought at the store and one that my girlfriend made. So, you know, one of them is very uncomfortable. Try to guess which one. Could it be the one that's made out of like rugs? That looks really good. It's very hot.
Probably. I would go with that one. That's amazing. Now, this is a Wild Eye releasing, and I know Mark's been doing a lot of Wild Eye movies. Do you know anything about Wild Eye? Do you know if they fund these movies, or do they just pick them up?
I don't know. I can say I have run into the owner of Wild Eye at a film festival that I played in Las Vegas, and he actually made an offer to distribute Teddy Bomb, my first feature film, on DVD. And I had to say thanks, but no thanks, because I wanted to own the movie myself. And I feel like if it goes to Wild Eye, it's like theirs. Probably forever, I feel like the contracts that they probably signed.
Yeah.
Wild Eye is interesting because they have an amazing cover artist. Like if you look at like the cover of like Dune Warriors, so cool looking. Like they got that part down in a way that the Bigfoot versus Illuminati people do not have down.
No.
So they know what they're doing. It's just the movies themselves. Yeah, it's usually a losing battle, but every now and then you'll get like a real gem. Because they put out, what was the? I just watched it recently. From the director of Beyond the Dream's Door. Jay's movie.
Oh shit! I know what you're talking about. I'll look it up right now.
What is it called? Oh, Nightmare Asylum is what it's called.
Asylum of Darkness.
Yeah. Okay, that's a terrible title, and that's not what the movie was called. And it has a very misleading cover where you're like, huh? Yeah. That's not what happens in the movie. But you know what? They put it out there, and that's their business model. And I think that there's something more respectable with that. Like they're trying to, you know, they're David F. Friedman's, if you will, trying to put it out there. Like, you know, they may trick some people. Some people may actually see some great movies too while they're at it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, do you know anything else about Wild Eye?
I don't know anything about Wild Eye, but yeah, my buddy made this movie, Asylum of Darkness, and we actually had him on the show a while back. Jay.
Oh, great movie! People like genuinely like fun and ambitious. Shot on 35 millimeter too.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, man. I'm like, I don't know how you pulled it off, but good for you.
I mean, it's a bit of a bummer that like a movie that like that did have to get released by Wild Eye, because probably every other company's like, no, thank you, keep moving. Yeah. But the fact that it did get released, and like the DVD has a commentary track too, like that's the extra step where I'm like, okay, either Jay himself, the director, writer of the film, is like, I need to do commentary, or Wild Eye was like, oh, you know, we can offer this if you want. So I like that, even if like I don't like all of the movies that they put out, and sometimes I'm like, oh god, this is so bad.
No, I mean, there was a thing on YouTube for a while. There's a lot of YouTubers who do Wild Eye Wednesday, and it's like focusing specifically on Wild Eye movies, obviously. And I said, oh, maybe I'll join in, and we'll do some Wild Eye movies. And then I saw a few of them. I'm like, oh god, no, no. And I love those kind of movies. But there's something about, and I don't know, maybe it's a nostalgia thing, but there's something about a shot-on-video movie from, like, say, the 80s or 90s that just feels different from the stuff made today. That just doesn't.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's just like a textural thing, and I think that like those movies also, the filmmakers were probably really young, and the best ones they're going out there and they're like, I want to give you the goods that I like, which is often like gore, and so it has to be practical because it can't get away with CG stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like digital video now too. It just looks not that good. Like it doesn't feel the same way that like, Splatter Farm does.
Right. Well, because it gives it a look. It gives it a tone. And like as you're seeing here, I mean, look at that. That's just
that's pretty fun though.
I mean, it's fun, but it's one of those like I think it's just too clean, too crisp, and it just
the thing personally that I feel like if you're making a movie like this is I want it to be crazy. Like I want it can look as fake as heck if it's just wild and you're just throwing stuff at me like nonstop. Or it's very controlled and you have a very clear vision of what you're doing. It's like either or that worked for me. Like I don't know if you've ever seen Jeff Leroy's movies. The guy, he did like Creepies, Werewolf in a Woman's Prison, The Screaming.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but I'll look it up right now.
He did Rat Scratch Fever was a big one of his.
Oh, I've heard the title. I've never seen his films.
Would highly recommend Rat Scratch Fever. They're just wild. Just throw everything at the screen. There's tons of miniatures, and they're shot on 35 millimeter because he wants to shoot them in slow motion. So it'll suddenly cut to the cheapest like digital footage to like 35 millimeter footage of like a miniature exploding. Like that's what I like.
That's awesome. Okay, now I know I've heard of Jeff. He worked with Randall Malone and Ford Austin. I know those guys. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll watch that. I'll watch that tonight. It's on Prime. I'll watch Rat Scratch Fever.
Oh yeah, Rat Scratch Fever. Probably one of his most fun movies, where it's just like throwing nonsense at you right up until the end. Some of his other ones have more pacing problems, where it's like, oh, it's so much fun, and then nothing. Like he made one called. It was released as I believe Alien 3000, even though it was actually a sequel to one of Jay's films, Unseen Evil. It was originally titled Unseen Evil 2. It's like shot in 35, but he feels anyway. I could go on forever, but we're talking about Polonia here at Bigfoot.
Yeah, so Bigfoot versus zombies. I mean, you guys are seeing it. Yeah, this is giving you kind of a good idea of what the zombies look like, what the pacing is like. It does spend an inordinate amount of time developing characters, which I don't get. We don't. I mean, you see zombies shambling around. But at the 45-minute mark, that's when shit actually happens. Bigfoot starts punching people down. I don't know that I necessarily needed character development with these guys. I appreciate little bits and pieces, but it just takes, for me, it takes too long to get going.
I agree. I mean, you want character development through action, though. But I would say that like a film like this is charming in a way that I don't find like Brett Kelly's films charming. I don't know if you've ever gone into like, because when I think of them like this particular style, I kind of like put them together. And I don't know if you watch many Brett Kelly films. I mean, only Canada's own. So
yeah, no, I'm deficient. I saw that one. It was I guess it was Arachnia. I remember it was a stop motion spider.
Oh, not Brett Piper, Brett Kelly. If you bring him up, you'll see Kelly. Like 100 credits to his name, and he did stuff like, and he did like real rip-off movies too. Maybe there's another Brett Kelly because not the actor that's in Bad Santa. Bad Santa. The director of it says like something of the Shark.
I see Raiders of the Lost Shark.
Yes, exactly.
I have not seen any of this guy's movies.
Yeah, he had a little bit of like a cred because Camp Motion Pictures released a bunch of his early films, like
Mm.
The Bone Setter and
Oh, I'm familiar with that one. Okay.
My Dead Girlfriend was another one. He also did a remake of Kingdom of the Vampire, which supposedly like he picked a fight with J.R. Bookwalter when they made it. I was like, I want to know how that what was going on there.
Jesus.
And yeah, since then he's been just cranking out just like rip-off movies, and they may actually have been released by Wild Eye. I'm looking
Probably.
here.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, like Jurassic Shark, Ouija Shark, Conga TNT.
Fucking Ouija shark. What the hell? I actually think I saw that at Walmart.
Hey man, they're getting it on the shelves at Walmart. Someone's
Yeah.
winning.
Hey man, if you can get distribution, that's a win. That is a win.
And I feel like Brett, he does get distribution. I once talked to somebody who made a movie with him, and it was like he shoots everything in wides, and you get one take. And the guy said he fumbled his line. He's like, "Oh, can we go again?" Brett's like, "No, we don't need to go again. Let's keep moving."
Wow, gotcha. The mark of quality.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think he has to get some kind of funding from Wild Eye.
Yeah, I'd be very curious, like where the money comes from. There's got to be some kind of money coming in, right? I mean,
Right.
or Mark Polonia, he probably does he have a day job? Can you make 6 movies a year and have a day job?
I don't know. If you shoot him over the weekend, sure.
Yeah, that's still a lot of work to do. Like even if
Yeah.
you're just and they probably are shooting during the weekend, but like the
Yeah.
editing, even the putting it together. I'd be
Mhm.
curious. Mark, give me a call if you see this.
Yeah, we were actually. I reached out to him for an interview, but he was busy. He said, "Oh, I'm making
Probably
some
shooting a movie.
Exactly. So I was like, "All right, well, when you're free, let's make it happen." But he's never free because he's always making his movies. All right. So, final thoughts. What do you think, Justin? Thumbs up, thumbs down on?
I mean, I can't give this a thumbs up. Like, like it's not good. I'm glad the people who made it had fun, right?
Yeah, it seems like it anyway. Maybe
Check
not
out
the big-
Triclops instead. That one has some of the same cast and crew, and it's more fun.
Triclops. There you go.
How about you?
yeah.
Wait, what about your rating?
No, thumbs down for sure.
No, as in you're like, oh, why, I actually have to do it? Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a thumbs down.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Do you think on this show you will ever give something a thumbs up?
I hope so. I'm hoping to find something like, wow, I came in expecting the biggest crap, and this is one of the most entertaining.
I
'Cause,
mean,
like, I've come across that, like Cannibal Campout, and that was one of my early like shot on video movies that like really set me in the world of I love shot on video movies. Cannibal Campout.
that was a long time ago, man. Like,
was.
you're still holding on to that.
Well, I'm holding on to it because it was like the first one. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm looking for these gems. So
I feel though like I'm a big Letterboxd person, love logging stuff on Letterboxd, love checking to be like, oh, do people like this movie? And it has never happened where people are like 1 star, 1.5 star, 1 star, 1.5 star. And then I watch the movie and I'm like, this is amazing. I don't know what these people are talking about. This is great. Like, it has never happened. And my friend Mark Hansen that I do the Bay Street Video podcast with, he is like hope springs eternal. Like he's a product manager at a video store and he'll get the DVDs of the week and he'll be like, oh, how about the shark movie? And I look at it, I'm like, no, this is gonna be bad. He's like, what about this movie? Ooh, Billy Zane's in it. I'm like, he's gonna be in one scene. It's gonna be awful. He watches every new Bruce Willis movie.
wow.
Everyone. He is a madman.
Oh my God. That's interesting. I've lost all respect for Bruce Willis, unfortunately, because I know he's just catching paychecks for like literally one scene.
Or his digital double is catching a paycheck.
Well, they did that for there's like a commercial, right? That they replaced his face. Is that was the case?
Yep, he just gave the rights to his face to be utilized.
Jesus Christ. Mr. Jami, hello to you.
Hello. You're coming right at the end. We're done. But then
Yeah,
you can rewind it when this gets posted, and it's like we're live all over again.
Exactly.
So where are you going from here, though? Like
Bro.
you've done this. What are the next movies that you want to tackle?
Oh, I don't know. It can't be Bigfoot again. It has to be something completely different. I'll have to think about it. My goal is to do a voyage to the bottom of the barrel at least once a month.
Mhm.
And I'll reach out to whoever. I know you're busy, so if you can't come back, I'll try and drag someone else and down into the barrel with me.
I mean, I'd happily join you every now and then. I don't know if I could do every month. I think I would die if I had to watch 2 movies like this every month. But yeah, it's fun to go and see. Oh, man, I just wish, like, damn the internet, that it's not like you go on Tubi, you're like, maybe this is good, and you can like click on it, and you're like, no, it's bad. It's bad.
Not good.
Even though, you know what, it can happen, because I released a movie called A Sweet and Vicious Beauty on Blu-ray, and it was just hanging out on Amazon Prime, and like no one had given it any reviews. So the stuff is out there.
Reviews for Noob says Bigfoot is not real.
How dare you? You don't know that. You don't know that.
I do. I've seen him.
He saw him on a train. Once this video gets posted, go to the beginning. You'll see it.
Yes, I gave my whole story in the past.
Yeah.
Justin, before we sign off, tell us what's going on with Gold Ninja Video, man.
So Gold Ninja Video is a Blu-ray label I started 2 years ago. And basically the idea is we take public domain films and we slap them on Blu-ray and do like a Criterion special edition where there's booklets, there's new commentaries, there's video featurettes. Each disc is like opening the door into like whatever the subject is. We did a Bigfoot disc. We did Creature from Black Lake. And it was really fun because I had the guys who run Shock Marathon, Charlie Roxburgh, Matt Farley, and Tom Scalzo. And they did do like 24-hour VHS marathons. So it was like a reason to talk about that and talk about Bigfoot movies. And yeah, so I did that for a while. I got into, distributing Wild Eye style, real no-budget indie films, like the previous mentioned of Sweet and Vicious Beauty, Don't Let the River Beast Get You, Dinosaurs in a Mining Facility, which I recently released and is great. Highly recommend. Anyone who's a Blu-ray special feature fan, the director did a 2.5-hour documentary on the making of the film.
Wow.
And it's amazing. Like he spent 6 months on it, and you're like, I would have thought you would have spent more time. Just like outtakes, just interviews going in and out, like crafting a narrative. Wow. So yeah, great stuff. You can pick it up all on Gold Ninja Video. And recently I did I always say Kickstarter, but technically Indiegogo, to do some scans of Gold Ninja of prints, and I made enough money that I was able to buy myself a scanner. Amazing. Which is currently on its way in 2 months. I have to make room over in the corner there on one of the tables. God, I hope so. And I currently have in my closet like 5 or 6 film prints that I'm like rubbing my hands together to scan. I got some Hong Kong films. I have a lost Canadian film from the 50s that has never been released anywhere. Wow. And I just saw like on eBay, someone was selling a 60mm print of it in France. I was like, huh? Oh yeah, yes, please. Because I read encyclopedias of film. I knew the film when I saw the title. And so I'm really excited. I've been shocked at like the wild discoveries I've been able to find. We're gonna do like a disc of 8mm Super 8 like digests that we're gonna like scan. We have like a stack of them that we're gonna do and do commentary and stuff like that. And the first disc, I actually did a scan of a Taiwanese film called Thrilling Bloody Sword. The only version available was a TV rip that looks like garbage. And I have a beautiful new scan that is being released on Blu-ray. It's currently available for pre-order at goldninjavideo.com. I should say, we're not doing any like remastering on it, especially like the colors look amazing on this print. So good. But like there's like lines through it, like, like grind housiness. If we were to go in and remaster it, it would cost like $10 million to like make it look perfect. And what's really funny about it is there's, like every 15 minutes, there's like a frame and it's like missing in the middle. And when I saw it, I was like, oh no, did the people who scanned it, who are great in Toronto, really professional, did they make a mistake? And then I went back to the TV edit. Those missing frames have always been in every version. Wow. It's like the final print had these errors in it. That's how like rare the film is. And like the print that I have is probably like the only print that exists. So like that's what I got scanned, and that's what will be on the Blu-ray. So I'm really excited about that. So goldninjavideo.com. And I don't know if I said it, I'll say it again. They're all limited edition. So when I sell out, they're gone. So order now if you want some of those, and support the indie filmmakers. If it has a full cover, that means it's either a new scan or I work with the filmmaker. So check it out.
There you go. Yeah, link in the descriptions, guys, for that, and Film Trap, your YouTube channel, and your
Yeah, I haven't been updating it very much, but man, if I hit that 1,000 number, maybe I'll start making more videos again. Ooh, who can imagine?
Well, you never know. You have been busy, so
Yeah, as you can see behind me, the gigantic piles of empty Blu-ray cases. I'm
Yeah.
spending all my time currently trying to fulfill all of the Indiegogo perks that
my
people
God.
bought. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then it's Thrilling Bloody Sword in like 2 weeks about. And then the sky's the limit. We're also, speaking of Matt Farley and Charlie Roxburgh, I don't know, have you ever seen any of their movies like Freaky Farley?
No.
So there's these guys who, since the 2000s, they've been making films. They started on mini DV, and then they shot 2 features on 16 millimeter, Freaky Farley and Monsters, Murder, and Marriage in Manch Vegas. And I probably got that title wrong. I always get it wrong. And they haven't been able to get any distribution, and they've just been continuing to make movies. Matt Farley is most famous for, he on Spotify has written like 40,000 songs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were talking about this guy last time. Okay,
Probably, yeah. And so the first film they shot on 60 millimeter, Freaky Farley, is an amazing slasher that has like the Garbage Day parody way before it was on the internet. Like that's how like deep they are in that stuff. And so that's going to be our next release. We just got the scan of the negatives. We have to scan the entire negatives because the edit was done on a standard definition copy, and that'll be the next like big release. So check goldenninjavideo.com for that.
Nice, very cool. Tom says that he loves the hidden movies.
So in the public domain, like releases, there's usually like a hidden Easter egg. So if you like go looking in the menu, like a full movie will be there. It's not always the case on the ones that I work with the directors, because not that many directors have full feature films that they're like, yeah, you can hide it as a special feature. But some of them do have it. Like Local Legends has a movie that had never been released anywhere, feature film. And same thing with A Sweet and Vicious Beauty, has 2 feature films that the director's like, I made them. They never got distribution, but you can have them. So yeah, one of them is shot on Super 8. It's like Basket Case if it had like martial arts sequences shot in like the 90s.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, guys, go check that out over on Gold Ninja Video. The link is in the description. And Jesus, I will never watch any of these Bigfoot movies again.
No,
but
not even as a joke. Like you've seen one, you've seen them all.
No, they're not even funny enough to like show a friend. Hey, you have
no, absolutely not.
This is like what a James Bond villain would play James Bond. This would be the torture sequence. Now you have to watch this piece of shit.
I love how this is ending with you being like, so bad. Why do we watch this?
This is a bad choice. This is a bad idea.
Oh, Bigfoot was a bad choice.
Oh, geez. Hopefully we can improve for next time, and hopefully you can come on. We'll see what happens. We'll make it work. I'm hoping to get busier next month with stuff happening on my end.
Oh
so
yeah, is there a movie you may be shooting soon?
Well, it's been 6 months now since I've been working with the Asylum on a couple projects, but it's been moving slower than normal. I mean,
what if they were all Bigfoot movies?
Unfortunately, not. I would actually no. They made a Bigfoot movie and it's pretty terrible. Have you seen the Asylum Bigfoot movie?
I mean, it's an Asylum movie. I think I get the gist.
I mean, it's called Bigfoot, and he's 50 feet tall, and somehow they can't find him in the woods.
I love it.
But I will say the best thing in the movie, Bigfoot kills Alice Cooper.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Alice Cooper shows up for a concert in the woods, and then Bigfoot steps on him.
It's like Grizzly 2.
Yeah,
the concert.
Oh, okay. Oh, Grizzly 2. Oh God.
You know what? Grizzly 2 better than Bigfoot versus the Illuminati. Let's be honest.
True. All right. Well, Justin, thank you for joining me, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks to everybody for watching live and the archive video. We appreciate it.
Exactly. Everybody watching, thank you so much. We love you. We love you just the way you are. Now, actually, you're going to be doing a film festival pretty soon, right? On Twitch. You want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, listen, I can plug until the sun comes up.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so I'll make this fast. If you're watching this now on October 16th, which is in 2 days, I am doing a 24-hour horror movie mind melter where I show 24 hours of horror movies. And if you're like, it's gonna be like Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, no, I watch way too many movies, and I program it like I want to make sure that people have not seen any of these movies. And I'm gonna say right here to the people watching, is there perhaps a fan edit of Puppet Master 4 and 5 that I made, mingling both movies together into one mega picture to the point that they run concurrently with each other to make the story work? Maybe that will be playing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we might have gotten a hint as to what to expect.
Yeah, perhaps a hint. On a commentary, Jeff Burr, I think it's Puppet Master 4. He's like, yeah, these movies, man, there's not enough for 2 movies. I wish somebody would just like edit them together into one like mega puppet movie. And I was doing my laundry and I stopped and I was like, I have 5 hours free today. And this was like a couple of years ago. And just in one day, I just did it. It was very easy because that movie's filled with like fat where you're like cut. So yeah, that'll be showing. We got I got movies from the Philippines. I got movies from Hong Kong, Japan, really wild stuff. Once you get into like midnight, 1 a.m., 3 a.m., that's when like shot on video stuff starts popping up. Then when it gets into the morning, you got your cartoons. And then like the last few movies, I always make sure they're like more mainstream stuff. Just because like people I always program assuming that the person started right at the beginning and went all the way to the end. And by the end, you're like, just give me something I know. Like something I'll be happy to see at the end. Like not something like I don't know because it's too much of an effort. So that's what I usually do at the end of the marathon.
I like that. That's good. You put effort into that. And now this is happening over on Twitch?
Yep. Twitch TV/Important Cinema Club. Starting at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can check out my Twitter. It's DECLOUX, DECLOUX, the letter J. It's written right on screen. Right. No, I can't do it. Right there. And you'll find information. It's all pinned at the top of my Twitter profile.
Amazing. You know what? I'll put the link in the description as well, guys, so you can go check that out. That's amazing. I'm going to do my best to join in on a couple of those movies.
You are a family man with child. You don't need
it's hard.
Yeah, you don't need to. Currently, I hear your kid like banging at the door. It's like, Daddy, I'm hungry. What are you doing?
You know, I've got a glad like my bedroom is right back here, and they sometimes I'll see them peeking their heads through the curtain to see is Dad finished yet.
Yeah, their memory when they'll be like 20-year-old talking to their friends, they're like, my dad, he was always just wearing sunglasses, talking about Bigfoot versus the Illuminati.
Actually, I should show my kids this movie so that they know that they're ready.
No, don't do it. What if they love it? What if they're like, oh yeah, I wish every movie was like this now? You're like, no.
Oh no. At that point, I would just kick them out of the house.
Yeah, that's it. You're out.
Right. This has been amazing. Justin's busy. I'm busy, and you at home are busy. So let's call it a night. Let's do this again soon, my friend.
Sounds good. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
Actually, yeah, I'll have a video tomorrow, and I'll have a video Saturday, and that'll do. Bugaboo. And the end.